is advanced. Our topic for today's session is advanced digital identity and privacy protection. In an age where our identities exist both offline and online, protecting our digital presence has become just as important as protecting ourselves in the physical world. To help us better understand this, our speaker and combines industry leadership, research, and practical experience to help organizing organizations securely adopt emerging technologies while strengthening cyber resilience. Mr. Prabhakar Damor is a cybersecurity professional, researcher, and technology leader with over 12 years of experience in cyber resilience, AI security, governance, risk, compliance, and threat intelligence. He is currently pursuing his PhD in cybersecurity at IIIT Vadodara, where his research focuses on strengthening cyber resilience for critical infrastructure through artificial intelligence, data governance, and emerging technologies. He also serves as the director of New Now Private Limited, leading cybersecurity consulting, virtual Cisco service, threat modeling, security awareness, and digital trust initiatives. His expertise spans zero trust architecture, cloud security, AI governance, privacy and data protection, and regulatory compliances. He is an IICA certified independent director and associate Cisco, a One Trust responsible AI professional, and a recipient of prestigious CSO 50 Organization Award 2023. Please join me in extending a very warm virtual welcome to our speaker for today, Mr. Prabhakar Damor. Over to you, sir.
Good evening, everyone. Hope my voice is audible. Just give me a thumbs up if my voice is audible. Yeah. Thank you so much for the warm welcome. I'll keep it brief and make it more actionable so that you all will, get the insights and hope you are going to learn something from me today. Yeah. Uh, I request, I think, Naksh event team, Divya, to kindly share the presentation screen.
Sir, have you shared the PPT with us?
Yeah, it's there. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much.
So, up on the rightmost side, there is three dots. Click on that. There would be a presentation view. Okay. Present. Third option. Hope the screen is visible to each and everyone who is present. Please share the thumbs up. Yeah. So the topic for today's cohort D2 is advanced digital identity and privacy protection. So when we talk about and discuss about the digital identity, so there is a human identity and there is a social media identity that we have already created and registered ourselves on various platforms. And how well we can, protect that identity so that our persona is protected, safe, and sound. So from the woman's perspective, the digital identity, she protects her honor, her family, her career, her future, right? So the digital safety is not a luxury, it's a right of each and every individual, whether it is a man or a woman. And the subtopics that we will highlight today is how to use the passphrase, passkeys, two-factor authentication or multi-factor authentication, how to prevent ourselves from data breaches, what are the reduction strategies that we can implement, how to safely use the email as well as the cloud platforms, the social media privacy settings that we can use, and how to reduce the digital footprint across the globe, across the environment. Next slide, please. So if we talk about the numbers, why this matters, and why it is everyone's issue, and how women are targeted across the globe. So if we talk about, if we see the pattern, there are almost 86,000 plus cybercrime related cases are reported in India since 2023. And if we talk about today's number, it would be 93,000. The number has increased, but these are not the only cases that happens. There are silent cases, unreported cases, and there are cases which are in the silos, which is not reported yet. So if we talk about, there is a rise in the cybercrime cases due to the digital transformation across each and every platform. So there is has been rise in 63% of the cases and the complaints. Although there is a woman specific cyber cell, although there is a woman specific police station which has all the facilities to safeguard women. So we see the pattern that those profiles across the globe or across the social media platforms are open, fully discoverable through open source intelligence techniques, through manipulation, or through the scams like job scam or extortion attack. And the fear of reporting those incidents keep the attackers engaged, and they take it as a green light that if nobody is reporting, we are free and we are not able, police won't be able to crack us or catch us. So what we'll do is we will identify the six key subtopics. Uh, we will practice them, and we will make sure that we are forming a cybersecurity community, especially for women, where each and every woman would take an pledge, take an initiative to report the incident, make sure your circle is safe, make sure your family is safe, and we are forming a cyber cell. Let me highlight the golden hour principle. If anyone knows about photography, the rule of golden hour, in the morning, when there is a golden hour, when there is a huge light, so you'll see each and everything clearly, crispier, and there is less noise and less amount of distortion. That golden hour principle applies in the cybersecurity domain as well. The first 60 minutes of a cyber incident is as crucial as it is. If we have taken an immediate action on the first 60 minutes, you are bound to be safe, and all the protocols would align to you, and it will be you will be in the better phase most from the 80%, because the crucial decision takes uh, first call of action, right? Everyone knows that if we take an initial step in first 60 minutes or first 1 hour or first 4 hours, it would save huge amount of decision making, huge amount of time, and you are bound to recover and prevent the loss that has been occurred. And every action or the case study which will be presented will tell you a story which is concrete, which is robust, and which is already proven that how some initiatives save time. And these are all the statistics from certain reports, RBI report, Verizon data breach, cybersecurity ventures. All the best practices that they have highlighted would share the same principle. Take proactive action in the first 60 minutes or 4 hours so that the crime can be prevented. Next slide, please. The topic one is how we are using the password managers, passkeys, passphrase, and why it is easy to crack the password, which are not complex. if anyone of you are from the cybersecurity background or computer science background, they must be aware about the cryptography. They must be about the quantum computing. Why it is happening right now that there is a harvest now decrypt later attack, which is possible because of the supercomputer. They are collecting and harvesting the user's data, users' sensitive information, users' passphrases, all the stolen file or the hash value which they.
नखरे दिखा रहे हैं अभी तो
Yeah, so I was talking about the cryptography, how every password as well as passphrase which is stored across the DB to authenticate yourself is stolen, and it is harvested by few of the dark web agents. And if we don't use the complex password, with the help of quantum computing, with the help of supercomputers, it can be easily cracked. And there are weak as well as stolen password. If you are using same password for multiple platforms, uh, if one platform's security got compromised, your password is already stolen, and you can check it in many of the website. One website is have I been found. If you enter your email address into that, and you'll identify that there are, let's say, 6 or 8 data breaches where your information has been stolen, and your identity is already compromised. The major step is they have taken the premises, and now it's your turn to make sure that to change the password, use the complex password, use password managers, use multi-factor authentication, and see and utilize all the open source tool which is available inside the internet, right? So the golden rule here is never use the same password for every platform. You can modify each and every string. You can utilize the pass keys. You can utilize the pass phrases. Monday blue 128 or Monday at the rate hash. You can use special characters and make that passphrase which is easily remembered by you only because you have created it, and it should not be cracked and it should not be easy. Let's say it's not your favorite restaurant or your dog's name or your mother's maiden name. So these are the strings and passphrases that you can easily remember, and make sure that you are making it as hard much as you can, and make sure that everything is different from each and every platform, right? So if we talk about, let's say, if you talk and discuss in your family, like that you have learned something today, that how to make different password for different platforms, and all the platforms password that you can easily remember on your fingertips. It's a memory muscle game that you need to practice, and you need to implement it once a month for each and every account of yours. Ideally, it is per quarter, but you can make sure it's the best practices for your family members, so that each and every critical accounts or your banking account, Amazon shipping account, or your Google account, which is linked to majority of the services that you are using, should be robust, and all the passwords that you are using are changed frequently. You should not wait for a notification popping into your have I been found account that your password is compromised. Please change it immediately. The hackers who has compromised your password has already stored that and tried to reset or change your account credentials and shared the phishing emails to all the contacts. You will few of the people or few of the cases that which I have handled had already never used Instagram once they have created, but their account got compromised. The hacker has impersonated and taken over that particular account, changed the password, changed the phone number as well, so that the user cannot reset it as well, and asked each and every contacts of his or her to share the money as an emergency, that there is a family emergency. They are sharing a AI morphed screenshot of that they are in the hospital and they need some immediate assistance, and they are making sure that all the people who are in the contact list are sharing that. And few of the people in the dilemma or in the emotional part, they have shared that payment as well. So that is what happening if you are not, keeping your each and every account which are, if you are using it, then it is well and good, and you are changing it, that is the best scenario. But if you are not using it, kindly just delete it, right? Any unused account which has a photo of you would be a gold mine for the criminals. Next slide, please. So that would be the migration guide. Like this week, you need to make sure that you are auditing each and every passwords that you are using. Make sure that it is more than 16 characters. Use the special characters. Use the a string which is a random words, two numbers, symbols. Uh, Here is an example of the master password which I would follow. Purple elephant dance 7 exclamation mark moon. The o moon o can be replaced by 0, and you can replace e with 3, so that it will be more complex for any of the hacker or the any of the supercomputer or the cryptographic attack that might decrypt it. Anything which is about 14 characters are hard to crack nowadays with the password cracker or any of the tools. But yeah, like if you are using it more than 20 characters, using special characters, using numbers, random words which are is not easily guessable, then you are safe. And you make sure that nothing is saved in any of the nodes, क्लाउड वी हैव अ टेंडेंसी राइट कि हम अपने पर्सनल चैट में एक बार पासवर्ड सेव करके रख लेंगे, या फिर क्लाउड पे एक बार सेव कर लेंगे, डेस्कटॉप पे नोट में बना के पासवर्ड नोट्स या क्रिटिकल फाइल करके हम सारे के सारे पासवर्ड उसमें रखें. डोंट यूज दैट एंड डोंट डू दैट. It's not a best hygiene practice for any of the thing. So the logic is we need to make sure that for each and every accounts that we are using the different passwords, and it should be uh, a string and mix of characters, and it should be unique for each and every accounts that you have. Next slide, please. The second topic is how we are using the multi-factor authentication. Uh, the level 0 is if we don't have the authentication or the second authentication mechanism. If your password is compromised, the second guess would be if you are getting an OTP on your mobile. If you are using a tool like Microsoft or the Google Authenticator, where every 15 or 30 seconds there would be a new time-based OTP would be generated, and it would be mapped to your application, mapped to your account. And most of the corporates are using that tool, and you can use it the free version as well. Aegis is free, Revio for iOS is free. Both are open source, both are offline, and they have encrypted backup. And there is a third option for the critical users, that is use the Fido key. It is a hardware based key. If you are plug and play kind of thing, when you are plugging into your laptop or desktop, it will generate the hardware protection key, and based on that encryption method your authentication would be done, and it would prevent the critical incident, that is the SIM swap attack. And recently in 2024, we have identified almost 84 different cases where women are specifically targeted, or the high net worth individuals were possibly targeted. They got the duplication SIM from your carrier, impersonating you and submitting your Aadhaar card or submitting your proof that you have submitted elsewhere during your college or during your, in the company environment. Wherever you have shared that particular, document, that is mandatory for getting the duplicate SIM card or the new SIM card. That's why all the operators have make sure that each and every process is robust, and there is a multi-factor authentication, and there is an address proof, re-verification proof, and it would be biometric authenticated right now. So that is the revamp that everyone has done. Yeah, kindly next slide, please. Yeah. And this is the setup checklist that you need to follow. We need all to make sure that we are using Google Authenticator or Microsoft Authentication, or you can install AJS application or Avio application if you are using Android or iOS, and enable the authentication mechanism which is time bound. Either it would be via email, via WhatsApp, via any of the platforms for which you are using the critical services. Banking, I would recommend. Social media, if you are an influencer, I would recommend. If you are storing and if you are hosting any critical documents for the company, company would make sure that you are using it to protect the business application. And there are backup ports which will save you, right? So you can keep the backup codes in the three location. First is encrypted mode in the digital format. Print the copy and make sure it is in your pocket or in your safe area. There is a physical backup as well. And for high risk profiles, there are mandatory steps that you need to make sure if you are using the Google account to make hardware key UB key, and it would be an advanced protection. Yeah. Next topic, please. This is the case study which I was talking about how golden hour savior would save your entire savings from bank. So it is a case study where a girl called Ria, she was in Bangalore, and she received an OTP for the bank authentication, and phone was dead at 3:15. The attack timeline follows that the signal got lost, there was a network issue, and that she got a message from her friend that her profile and the WhatsApp credentials as well as the information has been changed, and there is she didn't knew that her account got compromised, but proactively she called the bank. Her account has deducted a deduction of 2.7 lakhs. She dialed the 1930 number. uh, so for the immediate action that she took within the golden hour, uh, the cybercrime.gov.in platform, which has information and access to all the 18 different services across the globe and across India, where your Aadhaar is mapped. So they blocked the beneficiary account because she took the immediate action. So that is the power of golden hour and immediate action. If you know the current 1930 number, what action you need to take, what information you need to provide. If you are proactive, if you are taking the steps within a time frame, you will be saved. And it's your hard-earned money, right? So we need to make sure that we are taking proactive measures. Yeah, next slide, please. The third topic is data breaches and identity theft. Uh, uh, like what's the why Reliance named the company Geo? Because in reverse, if we spell it out, it's an oil. Uh, it's uh, it's an anonym for oil, and Dhirubhai Ambani as well as Mukesh Bhai Ambani mentioned that data is the new oil, data is the new currency. So everyone is on the planet is looking and after your personal data or after your critical data, so that they can market you, so that they can share the targeted ads. So you are the consumer there. You have shared your public profile. You just to make sure that whatever critical information that you have should be protected, so that in case of the data breach from all the platforms that you are using, you are reducing your attack surface. You need to make sure that your identity, digital identity, is protected. And how you can make sure that you are using that platform critically. There is a service called doxing as a service, where all the leaked credentials, all the information are used to create a synthetic ID or user replicated ID, so that that person can live anonymously, and they can leverage the credential stuffing or the fake profile where your data or your signature or your naming is used on the public front, and they are using that identity to create the attack. So it is very much crucial how safe we are, how secured we are on the public domain, right? Next slide, please. So the checklist that we need to make sure that we are following the golden hour protocol. We need to make sure that we are regularly checking have I been found website, or we are checking the password leaked website, and we need to make sure that each and every password that we are using is more than 20 characters. We need to make privacy setting for each and every account that we are using. We need to make sure that your Aadhaar card is locked, and if you are using it for temporary unlocking for verification, you can use the Aadhaar app. I have already did it, and it is very much swift and very much efficient. It would prevent, loan replication, SIM swap attack, KYC fraud. Every kind of fraud which is Aadhaar based or authentication based can be prevented if you are locking your biometrics, so that no one can use your leaked data in kind of that. Next slide, please. And there is an app called CyberDost. You can, go through that particular app. It's a assistant for you, which will help you and guide you. There is a how-to guide. There is a walkthrough guide, which will help you to take the informed decisions. Right. And the fourth topic is how we are securing the email as well as cloud security. There is a master key. How every information is connected to your email, the account that you are using it and the account that you are not using it. If someone has found your public email address, they will share the a document which has malware, a document which has a phishing link. Anyone can share those details, but if you're keeping your email addresses for different purposes, let's say I have 6 email addresses created for different purposes, you can do the same. Not every single email should contain the banking information, or it is linked to your banking information use. It was linked to your social media accounts. It is linked to your company's second verification, or your family's second verification linked to Aadhaar. You can use different email services for that. And it is advised to all of you that we need to make sure that we have to regularly check your primary email addresses for any of the recent activities that you are not aware of, any unauthorized activity, so that you can reduce the risk. Never sign in with any of the third party app, like sign in with Google or sign in with Facebook, sign in with LinkedIn. Any account or any application which you don't know or which you are not aware about or which is new, you should never trust that, and always trust but verify. But you should always follow zero trust principle. Never allow or never sign in with those platforms directly. Next slide, please. So this is the checklist that I would recommend. We need to make sure that there are no email hardening rules that you should follow, and there are no forwarding rule uh, for your Google account or for your email account, whether it is forwarded through Outlook or the Gmail or the Microsoft tool, whichever you are using. You need to make sure that those settings are disabled. And if we talk about how each and every account which is there, there is a Google My Activity is there. You can go through that, and we could identify from how many devices or from how many locations your account has been logged in. And if you are not aware about it, kindly end that particular session, reset your password to make sure that nothing is compromised. And you need to check your app passwords frequently, right? And there is a feature called, how we can, enable the login notifications as well. So whenever there is a new login from unknown area or from unknown account, there would be a notification and which will ID ask you for the second order verification whether uh, you have done it or someone else has done it. And this is the exercise that I would need to make sure that you are following each and every step. And I would ask Naksh Foundation team to share this presentation with everyone, so that each and every checklist that we are sharing it, they are reviewing it, and at the end of the cohort, you can make sure that they are on the right path. I would firmly tell the team to share this slide and make sure that each and every participant are following that. That's my advice. Yeah. Next slide, please. So this is the second case study. It is about the deepfake attack with the rise of AI, with the rise of there is a phishing campaign where the CEO voice was cloned, and there was a phishing voice-based phishing attack where a person's daughter has called from the hostel that she is into the emergency, and her friend or relative is into hospital, and they need an immediate transfer of money. But that voice as well as the video was morphed, and it was generated through AI. It was it was it happened in 2025, either in Bangalore. I got that case. So there is attacker. There are perpetrators who are looking out for your social medias or the videos that you have posted. Any 30-second video which your face is visible clearly and your audio is clearly visible. There are deepfake technologies, there are deepfake tools which would easily create a new video, which would uh, which would or which can be circulated by the attacker to your friends or families, and they are going to that height or depth where they are asking money, manipulating your family. So the story here is how, if you are a victim, you know that what are the next steps, how you got scammed, but how you can uh, flip the coin and be a cyber ambassador, be the voice that makes you a winner. Because it only takes a courage, or it only takes a right step to make sure that you're not following or you're not the victim, right? So I would combine the golden hour rule as well as the prompt action, that strictly say no. If you don't know, strictly say no, right? Don't pay anything, document each and everything, and we need to make sure that everything which is posted online on your behalf or from your account, if it is compromised, should be circulated with the right form to take it down services. There is a digital information service. There is anonymous FIR that you can lodge through police. And once that is done, you can use that FIR or the law to make sure that each and every action is taken. And you need to make sure that what are your rights, what are the facilities which is available uh, through the cybercrime.gov.in portal as well. And if you are taking the right step with right guidance, with right mentors, it is easily preventable. And that is the first step that you need to do. You need to make a strong circle. You need to spread the awareness. You need to be the cyber ambassador. There are cyber ambassador program from NCERT, ISEA, CDAC, MIT. So there is a cyber Shakti program or cyber shield program which is already happening, and anyone of you can participate by just logging it to isca.in portal, and you can register through that particular course, go through that content, and you will be the cyber ambassador of that. So these are the initiative which is already taken care by the government. But the thing is, what you are taking as a first step. If you are learning something, but you are not taking an action, at the end of the day, we are the same, right? But if I have learned something, if I have taken the action, if I have taken the pledge, then I'll be better than the 90% of the people. And if I am after learning, I'm spreading it with my family, with my friends, with my college, with my community, then I'll be the person who is sharing the knowledge, being the ambassador, uh, making sure that if you learn something, you are sharing it. And that would make sure that you are in the right community, in the right path. Next slide, please. The fifth topic is how we can, make our social media private. The major step is there are public profiles and there are private profiles. Each and every platforms, due to data privacy law across the globe, has taken that measures to make sure that all the privacy features as well as settings are enabled. There are, let's say, if we talk about Instagram. So for Instagram also there is a privacy setting rule. But the catch here is how good you are with the open source intelligence tools and techniques, and using the technologies, how you can identify your name, your public profile, your public data. Once you have made a checklist of all the public details that is available for you, you can start one by one, mark it or delete that particular information from the web, from each and every social media platform. If it is not relevant for you or for others, why keep it public, right? So I'm making sure that all the profiles, if it is not relevant for you, don't make it public. It's a recommendation. But if you are into that particular genre where you need to make sure that your profile is public, you need to make sure that you are following all the safeguards. No critical information or the private information should be available public, right? Email address, that is fine. You can create temporary email address just for the communication purpose, but it should not be linked to your Aadhaar, or it should not be linked to your bank, right? So that's the safest mechanism that you can do. All the information which is directly or indirectly linked to you should be reduced. That's the motto or the golden rule that you can follow, right? नेवर पोस्ट एनीथिंग लाइव, जो लाइव वीडियो भेजते हैं कि हाँ मैं आज सिंगापुर चला गया, तो दूसरे दिन उसके घर पे चोरी हो जाती है, बिकॉज उसने फेसबुक लाइव पे ये सब स्टेटस डाल दिया है, इंस्टाग्राम पे डाल दिया है. इवन इन वडोदरा, लास्ट टू लास्ट ईयर, there was a racket, there was a gang who was targeting, and they admitted in the police station that they got that information from the Facebook. Every Diwali or every after New Year, everyone goes to vacation. So they have posted that we are going for vacation for next 7 days, और हम अबू धाबी जा रहे हैं, और उनका घर पे चोरी हो गया. कैसे हुआ? तो उन्होंने फेसबुक पे पोस्ट डाला. So it was a real case. Yeah. So just a recommendation: follow those best practices. Kindly next slide, please. So these are the key platform settings which I would ask you all to do. You should explore that by your own, because it's a DIY step. Do it on your own for each and every account, and uh, it would make sure that you are following the mindset of a security engineer or a mindset of a privacy engineer, where you are looking from the attacker's point of view. If something is public, what harm can be done? Because something is happening, we are not waiting for that moment that it would happen to you, right? If someone is a victim, you can learn from that, right? You should not always wait uh, to be a victim, right? But if someone is a victim, you can learn from that. Make sure that you are changing the settings, how they got compromised, how the attack happened, and how you are spreading that particular awareness, right? So the advice is to make sure that whatever the platforms that you are using, whatever the presence is, you should make sure that it would be reduced, and all the privacy setting in best way possible, you are utilizing that, right? Next slide, please. So this is all about how you are reducing your attack surface, reducing the digital footprint, because it's a law of nature, a law of digital thing. Once you are, once some information is online, it would be hard to make or manage that particular information if someone has compromised it, downloaded it, taken a screenshot, everything which is circulated or formulated through different formation, it would haunt you for life. Trust me, we have seen some of the far worse cases as a part of pro bono cases, or as a part of consulting with police force as well. So there are fraud cases of 20 crores as well, 200 crores as well, and there are users, or there are sextortion attack. There is a school incident as well, where a group of people has targeted or cyber bullied one of the victims. So there are ample amount of cases which is not there yet in the public, because it will haunt you, right? So the thing is, you should not always think about that there is good in the people. We should see that there are bad elements as well, and it's a fact, hard fact. But the thing is, you need to make sure that how you are seeing the goodness in everyone, how you are seeing that whatever information you are sharing is managed by you. If something you cannot control it, the first step is don't go into that particular direction, right? You can always think before acting, right? If you are making something public, you know the consequences. So it's better to do the due diligence, make sure that uh, you are checking it by the cyber ambassadors, or few of the experts which should guide you, right? So that you can prevent your data, and you can gain the acquired knowledge as well, and you can spread that particular knowledge as well, right? Yeah, next slide please. So I would ask you all to make sure that you are auditing and creating the footprint of yourself by going into each and every platform, each and every information that there are few of the tools as well. Visit me. I have identified almost 18 tools as well. So all the platforms will give you additional information which you don't aware about. But for the starters, the amount of information that you are already aware about, start with that. Every day, do something about that, right? And you'll know that once you gradually do it on your own self, you'll identify that, yeah, this information is not needed. This information is revealing too much. This photo can be morphed. This photo can be utilized by the attackers. So if someone else is also doing, and if there is no cyber cell, or there is no proper guidance among your peers, it would be a better chance to take a lead, take and share this particular checklist, guide them, mentor them, advise them, connect with right audiences, connect with all the processes, connect. There are ample amount of books, ample amount of walkthroughs here. You just need to make sure that your circle is among them. If you don't have the right circle, create the right circle, right? It would always, and it would be an efficient step to take the leap of faith, take the first step into this journey, and you'll be better from the rest. Next slide. So this is the third case study. I would encourage you to particularly look for that. There is a cyber cell which Kerala's school as well as college students, government school वाले और college में भी ये cyber cell उन्होंने form किया था. We have replicated this cyber cell model through few of the colleges as well. पारुल में है और एक बार ITM में भी है. MS we have proposed. There is a cyber cell which we can form with one of the faculty members, and four girls and four boys from each and every semesters or each and every year, and they will conduct regular cyber awareness activities, share the best practices. If there is an incident, they would create a safe harbor for them, make sure that they are following all the protocols, all the steps they need to take mandatory. And if there is a help needed in the friends as well as family, they will be the guiding light into that. And that's how any of the cyber ambassador from the student perspective can be started. There are right amount of people, you just need to be the one, ask anyone to support and join that particular initiative, and 1 plus 1 will, in this case it would be 11. So it would be uh, uh, a feather in your knowledge base. So I would recommend all of you to make sure that you are part of this cyber cell movement as well. Next slide, please. So these are a few of the platforms which are government supported. And first one is I4C. The second one is certain Mahila Suraksha campaign. The ISCA, I have already mentioned that there are few of the cyber awareness courses specifically for the women as well, uh, specifically for the girls, child as well, senior citizen. There are almost 18 different courses and paths which will be suitable for you. And every year there would be, cyber awareness handbook as well as competition is also launched. So you can, take and make sure that you are participating in that and spreading the awareness. There is a platform under which, I have already told you that 1930 is operating. There are state helplines which are dedicatedly created for women as well. There is an e-safer program for CyberShakti, where a group of people has created a rural awareness campaign, as where women are the trainers and they can teach you in the regional language as well. And there are supported by various NGOs across MP as well as Odisha. And there are few of the initiatives in Gujarat as well, which Naksh Foundation is also doing. So I would really appreciate and ask all of you to give a clap, a hand for Naksh team as well, yeah, for this wonderful initiative. Next slide, please. So this is your mission. There are global initiatives as well, but yeah, on the higher level, India needs uh, 1 million cyber professionals by 2027. So you are one among them. You can take this initiative, you can take this certification, you can take this journey and create the impact that you wanted. If someone is creating an impact, you should appreciate that. And if you wanted to follow and create your own impactful journey, you will take this first step. Yeah. Uh, I think that would be the last slide. This is the quiz that you can take. You can take your time. The slides will be given to you, and once you get the ratings, you can identify the scores and take the preventive actions. And you can share it with your friends, family, peers, so that uh, before and after can be captured. Right before anything, if you don't know something, your scores will be less. But if you know something and if you are sharing this as a best practice or as a hygiene, your score will be improved and your knowledge will be improved, and that can be shared and reshared and it will be amplified, right? So this is the action plan that you all need to follow. This is the high level summary for all the points that I have covered, directly or indirectly. If I missed it, you can always go through this slide and you can connect with next foundation team, me, or the next speakers who are going to share additional insight as well. Yeah. Uh, I would ask if anyone has any of the questions. I would be happy to answer that. We just have 5 to 10 minutes more. Yeah. Thank you so much for your time, guys.
Yeah, good evening. I would like to ask a query. Like you were sharing one example, I mean case study, where her phone got, I mean blank for a minute or something. And then after that, when the phone got restarted, and her friend were asking about her changed DP. But normally we using WhatsApp and Facebook or something, we normally change our DP, right? We do not keep our DP entirely, I mean, for the year or 2 years. I mean, it's not a permanent thing. So then
Yeah.
how someone can, yeah, please help me with
So
this.
if your WhatsApp account is compromised, right? So the attacker, what they will do, it's a tendency like uh, to gain more trust or to gain some of the additional advantages, they will try to change the DP or change the bio or change something so that it can gain more trust or more, credibility. So for this is a special niche case which they have observed, and it is a real case where attacker has changed the profile, changed the bio, changed the profile pictures, and shared a specific message or shared his story. Right now, what happened was, since someone has seen the changes, has reached out to you as via phone, right? कि हाँ
Hmm.
या तुम्हारा DP चेंज हो गया, but she was not aware about it, and she
Hmm.
got to know that her account was compromised. So during the golden hour, let's say within 5 to 10 minutes, if she is taking the preemptive actions to check whether there is a money detected or see if there is a compromise activity across his footprints, right? So that is the proactive mechanism during the golden hour that she took, and that is the
Hmm.
real winning scenario here. If you are proactive, if you know if something is happening and if someone is telling you because she has observed it, right? So you should take the proactive actions, right? You should change the password, you should check your accounts, check your balance if something is happening, so that you are safe. And if you are reporting that particular thing within the time frame to cybercrime.gov.in or 1930 immediately, so that they can freeze the account if something is happening. So this is the learning curve as a part of the case study is you should always take the proactive action during the golden hour. If you are identifying any of the suspicious activity, report it immediately. A mail would save you from the hassle or the chaos that you are going to see, because I have seen many of the cases where they have asked me for the help after 7 days. After
Hmm.
7 days, your money can be transferred to 7 different accounts across the globe, and there is no amount of technology which can trace that transfer of the money through Bitcoin or through different black market or any of the media that is happening. But if you are taking that particular action within the first 1 hour or first 4 hours, you still have the chance. That was the crux of the story. But yeah, we can always learn from all the case studies which is happening, which are covered in the news, and we can always take the proactive actions. We there is a chain of command and chain of thoughts, how one thing leads to another, how the attack can happen, and if we reverse engineering that, we'll make sure that each and every step is a decision step. If someone is telling you that your account is compromised, are you aware about it? So what step you need to take, that is the crux here, right? So I hope that answers your question.
Thank you so
Yes.
much, sir, for such an insightful and engaging session. We now open the floor for question and answer session. A couple of quick notes before we begin. First, please unmute yourself only when you are invited to ask your question. Secondly, kindly keep your questions brief so that we can accommodate as many as participants as possible. And most importantly, you are welcome to post your questions in the chat box. We'll be picking up a few from there as well. So kindly raise your hands and we'll be taking up the questions. I guess Nikita has a question.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, ma'am.
Good
Thank
evening.
you for such a wonderful and insightful session. My question is, as you said that we have to be very careful while we have posted something on Instagram or any other social media platform. So if we have some professional account on Instagram, so how could we save ourselves? Like you said, in just 30 second of video, they can morph your videos or your voice. So how to stay avoid these?
So there are few of the guardrails as well as checklists that we always or we should always follow for the corporate account or for the company account. The best approach would be how professional that account is and how frequent that account needs your personal photo or video to be posted. Since it's a company account, there can be a generic video, there can be an HTML video as well. And if there is a personal face or personal community is needed, it should not be live. The thing is, if you are sharing your live feed or live data that you are at this location and you are doing this particular activity, that means you are not at a certain place and you are at this specific place and your house or home is empty or your office premises are empty. If this is for this kind of scenario where your photos or videos are leaking some of the sensitive information. लेट्स से आपने कंपनी के अंदर एक फोटो ले लिया, उसमें अपना कंपनी का आईडी है वो दिख रहा है, या फिर अपने जो बहुत जगह पे अपने स्टिकी नोट्स पे पासवर्ड या कुछ सेंसिटिव इंफॉर्मेशन भी रखते हैं वो भी विजिबल है. यूजर और द अटैकर कैन जूम इट, make sure that if something is visible is used for the later purpose as well, for the बाद में अटैक के लिए भी यूज कर सकते हैं, राइट. So we need to make sure that those best practices as well as hygienes are followed for all of your professional accounts where this kind of activity are monitored by the attackers, monitored by the public forums, or either it is visible to you or me. And if someone who is near and dear to you are having those information, or if an attacker can view or see that particular information, it can be misused, right? So to prevent that, you need to make sure and double check whether this information is required, really required. Then only you can post it. And if it is not if it is not needed live, you should always avoid it, right? That's the strategy or that's the suggestion which I'm asking everyone to follow. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir. And Shalini ma'am, can you please share the link of post test?
Yes, ma'am. We'll be sharing it in some time after the Q&A session gets
Okay.
over. So,
Okay.
Atmveer, I guess you have a question.
Yes, good evening, everyone who are present here. So I have a couple of questions which are related directly to whatever Sir has talked about in the last hour, and a couple of questions which I'm genuinely worried about, thinking how vast the information communication technologies and AI has, uh, entered in our lives and made themselves part of our lives. So, first one is extending to what Nikita ma'am said, that sometimes you cannot avoid your digital presence, especially in today's world. And even if it's not about some sort of business or something that you do, I'd give you my example. I am a faculty at law department here in Punjab University. So the first time that I started teaching cyber laws, I got so worried reading about all of these cases and all of these, scams happening, that I deleted everything off of my profile and I made it private. And I made sure that, nobody posts my picture or anything related to me online. But after COVID, it changed so much that every department, every committee of the department needs to make some sort of digital presence. And I am part of 3 committees in my department, and they post pictures as faculty coordinators and videos of the events and stuff. And now I Google it. If my name, there are pictures of me still available on Google, which the hacker or anybody with, malintent can easily use. So my concern is there really a way from which we can, like, is there a real solution by which we can make ourselves safe?
So there are strategies which I always recommend. Either you can prevent it, and if you discover it, you can either delete it. Takedown approach is always there. Ask who has recorded your video in the past not to do that in the future as well. If it is really needed, uh, make sure that your proper consent is already there. If you are not happy or not sure about it, you can always opt out from it, right? But if the content is already present, you can ask the original post owner to kindly take it down if it is not relevant at this particular moment, and you can always guide based on your profound experience as well, right? That you are not feeling safe about it, that your content or your particular face or video, if it is there in the social media, right? If you are not happy about it, if you are not sure about it, you can always express that to the original post owner to kindly delete it or take down that particular post. And if it is your faculty member, if it is required from the business point or if it is required from the academic point, there are time based posts that after 3 months, if it is not relevant, that event, you should always archive it, right? And you should always delete it from the social media so that no one can misuse it, right? The success story, it's a different genre, and the outcome or the reciprocation after 6 months or 6 years, if someone has audited all of your history or all of your photos, which can be morphed, which can be used for any of the malicious purpose, that case would be highlighted or should be highlighted to the original post owner as well, right? Since he or she would be the part of the community or part of the faculty, you can always guide them, right, to follow this best practices, which is part of CyberShakti ambassador program or initiative by government. Cybercrime.gov is best practices. You can always share that, right? And it is a person to person understanding and approach. But without trying or without telling them, there won't be any fruitful result that you can get from this. And it is always recommended that we are evolving, right? The technology is evolving, so the people who are using it are also evolving. Some take it on the positive direction, some take it on the negative direction, but our goal is to reduce that if we are not deleting that. That would be the first step.
It's right. Like you said, there are negative elements of this society which have always been there, which will always
Yeah.
be there. So it becomes a major concern. And you yourself said that people who are financially well off, and especially women, apart from that, they are often targeted.
Right.
So we as women, we need, we are doing everything, taking steps which we can to protect us, but we also need the some sort of third party protection as well.
Right.
Anyway, keeping that aside, my second question is, you suggested that we should be using different emails for different
Yeah, that is
purposes.
a recommendation which I always do, and I make sure
Right.
that each and every account is segregated. Earlier, I was also using the single mail itself. Why bother to create multiple mails? But once
Right.
I got the proper benefit of that particular usage, I made sure that it is different from each and every purpose.
I, for one, have also been using different emails for different purposes. One is strictly for academia, one is for my banking thing. But one thing that I've noticed is that all of my Gmail accounts, say one I am using on my laptop, the one that I use on my phone is different, and the one that I use on my TV is different. But 2-3 years ago, I've started noticing the pattern that if I watch something on my TV, then it keeps on suggesting same thing to me on the email associated on my phone. And same happens for my laptop. And
Yeah.
the one
So
that I've
it
strictly
is
kept
it
for
is
banking purposes.
yeah, I have a good story about that. So Google is the you know uh, purpose here, where for Google, everyone's information is a gold mine for them, so that uh, they can target each and every individual for the customized ads. So if you search something, it will keep that particular search history, keep the browsing history, each and everything to target you for the customized ads, because that's the revenue model of Google. If something is free for you, you are the you are the market for them, right?
Right. It's not free. They're gonna make money from us.
So that's why, like,
Right.
if there is a incognito mode, but that is also not more visible. But there are
It
privacy
does
settings.
not work.
Yeah,
I,
there are privacy
I'm
settings.
sorry, I'm cutting you in between.
Yeah.
But there's recently a lawsuit going on both
Hmm.
against Yahoo and Google because they have breached their users' privacy for
Right.
over a period of 5 years or more.
Hmm.
But again, like I said in with my earlier question, like, is there a real solution to it, or do we just have to evolve and adapt to all of the risks that are involved here?
So for the platform specifically, I have already recommended. If you are using Google, you need to make sure that create a checklist, identify each and every parameters or each and every privacy settings which is already offered and which is already hidden. You haven't used it so far. So जैसे starting में checklist में checkbox में yes कर दिया, I agree to all the privacy settings, and उसमें next 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 करके आपने खत्म कर दिया. But there is a setting tab, उसमें each and every privacy settings are already enabled. If you disable it, Google won't track your particular activity for that particular duration, and for that, it saved a lot of time and lot of energy from my side as well. Even I have enabled that particular setting, जिसके मुझे अभी टारगेटेड एड्स नहीं आते, कि जैसे मैंने एक टोस्टर देखा और मुझे नेक्स्ट दिन टोस्टर 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 की एड आती है, वो अब नहीं आती. दैट्स द आउटकम व्हिच आई कैन से. या.
Thank you so much. I'll definitely try that and see if it works. Thank you.
Sure, it would work for.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for asking that question. There is a question in the chat box, sir. I'll be reading it out for you.
Yes, sure.
Tanu is asking, sir, what is your suggestion for having one bank account linked with your primary phone number, which you use for payments, and have another phone number linked with another saving account? I'm so sorry. Yeah. Another saving accounts. You might not be using that number much. It is disconnected from net, and you do major saving over there.
So both serves your primary purpose, right? In this case, the recommendation was to avoid the hassle, right? If you use a single account, single phone number, it would be ideal, and most of the people use that, right? But if you wanted to avoid that, so this is the second scenario where it would be recommended to use different platforms and different security measures to create an additional layer of protection. It's always these things are advised, and it should be mapped with your use cases. I try to share that particular information because it's an added advantage or as an added security measures which all of us can take. I do that, and I find it very useful. That's why I have shared it with you, and I'm sure that it will be helpful for you as well, right?
There are no questions in the chat box, and none of the hands are raised. So I feel that our questions have come to an end. So thank you once again, sir, for
I
generously
would like
sharing
to
your
thank
time.
you all as well for giving me this opportunity, because I have learned so much during my tenure and from my case studies. I tried to keep everything simple, didn't cover much of the case studies, which are highly sensitive, which is very emotional as well. I didn't wanted, everyone to go to that particular zone which I have faced and which I have helped, victims to, recover from few of the incidents. But I made sure that each and every case study or each and every actions which I have learned is shared with you in the concise format. Since it was a 1 hour session, I kept it very concise and very informative. Yeah. But thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. And if anyone wants any additional deep dive session, I'm asking the team to schedule another sessions for that as well. Yeah. Thank you.
Surely, sir, we would be much honored to do that. So, your session has helped us better understand the importance of protecting our digital identity and reminded us that cybersecurity is not only about technology, it is equally about awareness, responsibility, and informed decision making.
Right.
Thank
So,
you also to the
I
entire.
always touch base upon the decisions that you are going to take. That's why I have focused that you should always take the informed decision. If you learn something, you always take an action. That is your decision. And if you take it immediately, it would be helpful to you, your family, your friends, your community.
Right, sir. Also, thank you to the entire team of CyberShakti Cohort 2 working behind the scene, and to each one of you for joining us and actively participating throughout today's session.